I question the patriotism of someone who questions the president's patriotism without any policy that he's talking about behind it, or any decision that he's made behind it, just again, genuinely questioning his patriotism.
I disagree.
And he doesn't own 9/11. He was great during 9/11, but my God, his comments were off the hook. They were crazy.
Can I say, I think they were off the hook too? But again, I just have to bring up again, if Democrats are going to beat their chest in self-righteous indignation, I'm sorry, how many times have Democrats called George W. Bush or Republicans unpatriotic over the past 10, 15 years?
It's a huge double standard in the media.
Yes, there is a huge double standard in the media, and that was Mark Halpern. Joining us now, John Fund, Newsmax contributor, National Review columnist, and author of Obama's Enforcer, Eric Holder's Justice Department. John, it is great to see you.
Thanks.
Great piece at right on target at National Review. The gotcha game, fair and square. This is the double standard is outrageous. Now, you were at this the 21 Club dinner where
Rudy
Giuliani
made his remarks at, yes.
Yeah, and you were told it was all off the record.
Well, of course, something like this doesn't hold. By midnight, it was everywhere. My point in the piece is, you know, okay, this is catnip for reporters. If somebody says something outrageous, it's going to be reported and it's going to be stewed over. But it's more fun if both parties get this treatment, in the sense of, you know, if you're going to play gotcha, why play gotcha with only half the political players? And people say, well, there is no double standard. I agree, there's a triple standard with a backflip. It's that bad. And not only Mark Halpern agrees, he's a liberal journalist, but George Stephanopoulos of ABC News agrees there's a double standard. Ask yourself this. Joe Biden is a gaffe machine, prone to very odd behavior. When was the last time Barack Obama was asked, do you believe that your vice president should stop inappropriately touching women?
Or making racist remarks.
I don't think they're racist.
Oh, well, we could debate that later.
But they're insensitive at least.
Yeah.
Or when was the last time Democratic senators were asked, do you think Elizabeth Warren is really Native American?
Right.
Or when was the last time any major Democrat was asked, you know, Bill Clinton goes on vacations with some very strange people who get into trouble with the law. Do you think that's appropriate, given that he's going to be the spouse of the presidential candidate, likely? They don't ever get asked those questions.
No, they don't.
So if there's a perceived thought crime by any Republican, every Republican has to ritually repudiate it as if it's some kind of inquisition.
And Giuliani, I mean, to be fair, they keep talking about he doesn't know 9/11. I heard many people say he represents people in a city, one of the most diverse cities in the world. He represents nobody. He is a private citizen.
He is not, the last time he was in office was 14 years ago.
Yeah, so it's not like he represents the Republican Party.
Now, having said that, I mean, he knew what he was doing. He knew his remarks were going to be, he's a big boy. But I think that people should remember, this was a dinner for Scott Walker. He was a last-minute gatecrasher.
Yep, that's what I hear.
5 minutes before the dinner, people didn't know he was going to come.
Right, they presented it, if you didn't know better, that he was made a speech at a Scott Walker fundraiser.
Well, when you seize the microphone, I guess you're allowed to make a speech, because possession is 9/10 of the voice.
and here's another one. How about asking people about Hillary and the Clinton Foundation? And the donations from foreign. How about asking every Democratic person?
A few people are being asked that, and it's very unseemly what's happening, because we basically have this giant slush fund that is supporting Clinton Inc., which is really the Clinton machine. And you talk about, now the Republicans have the Bush machine, I grant that, but that has been gone over a lot. There's more scrutiny that needs to be applied to both.
No, absolutely. And how do you feel? Do you feel that Rudy, I don't know if you read his Wall Street Journal editorial yesterday, Congressman Peter King says he wasn't backing down and he shouldn't apologize. I thought he was backing down.
Of course he was backing down.
Yeah.
You should not shoot from the lip about someone's inner motives. You can't know that. You can draw inferences from their behavior about how bad their policies are, but to say someone, that's like going up to a couple you know and say, you know, I don't think you love your wife. You just don't do that.
Yeah, but if the guy's been having affairs and she's been having affairs and they sleep in separate beds and they don't spend time together, you might have a reason for saying that.
What if they agreed with it?
An open marriage. There you go, an open marriage. Great piece. Everybody check out The Gotcha Game, Fair and Square, the great John Fund. Thank you, sir.
You.
Always
Pleasure.
great to see you.
Great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is, I'd love, and I'd love to have John back another time and we could debate the Joe Biden, first clean, articulate African American to run for president. Why is education better in Iowa than in D.C.? Look at how many minorities you have in D.C. compared to Iowa. 7-Eleven, now the Somali cab drivers, which, by the way, Washington Post fact check, there are no Somali cab drivers in Delaware there where he takes his train, so he doesn't know any. Anyway, that's for another time. We're coming back with more of the Malzberg panel right after the break. Don't you go away.